But in our relationships, when you use negativity to get what you want, you're not connected to your soul. The soul uses love to get what you want. And when you use negativity, basically you're lying because you're not negative. You're a positive being. And it's a partial truth. It's what you feel, but it's not the complete truth. You know, you can be angry with somebody and go, oh, I'm angry about you. But now I realize that, you know, you didn't mean to say that, or you really do care. So I'll let it go. So I care about you. So now you've gotten to the complete truth, which is, yes, I was angry, but now it's an incomplete belief or feeling. It needs to get back to love. And then it's forgiveness. And that's the total truth. We want to learn how to get to the real truth of life. And that's by getting to the truth of who we are, which is we're loving human beings, but we do interdepend on each other. We're dependent. We need love. We need support. We need to be loving. Otherwise, we're not being our true self.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was beautifully said. And, you know, coming back just for a second to the 5 stages in your book, which, by the way, everyone, I really highly recommend. The stages in your book, when I thought back on this, when my husband and I were dating, and one of the distinctions, because I didn't get married till I was 43, so I dated a lot of different people, and I didn't have the easiest time finding what felt like the right relationship for me, which is part of the reason I do the work that I do, because I'm really passionate about how good that can be when you find the right person, and how hard it can feel when you don't have the right person. And so, but one of the things I noticed was that with my husband and I, we never discussed, you know, the stages of dating or anything like that, but things just felt like they naturally, gracefully progressed in a way where it didn't feel like there was struggle. It didn't feel like there was drama. And it just felt like the relationship just like naturally, it wasn't push me, pull me, one person way into it more than the other, naturally and gracefully evolved. And yet, when I look in the book, I can see how, yep, that's what was happening then. That's what's happening then. We were naturally and gracefully moving through those stages. And I do think your wisdom about some of the pitfalls to watch out for, since a lot of the women are out there dating, is so incredibly valuable.
Yeah, so you answered the question better than me, but having heard what you just said, the answer is, I came up with those 5 stages because you can see that people who get married, have good relationships, all went through them. And I can see it's a natural unfoldment of the stages of a plant developing, for example. It goes through stages. And it's not like you're saying, okay, now we're going to force this stage and we're going to force this stage. It's a natural unfoldment of typically what happens when people bond and the bonding grows. At the same time, what I did is said, be aware of what stage you're in. Then you know what your challenges are. You also know what your pitfalls are so that you don't fall into them. Because like in the stage of commitment, often one of the pitfalls there is men have a tendency to say, okay, now that we're having sex, I don't have to work so hard to make you love me. And so they tend to become a bit more passive. And a woman will tend to feel like, oh, he's becoming passive. I should work harder. You know, now that we're in a committed relationship, I'll give more in the relationship. And by giving more, he ends up going further the other direction. So that would be a pitfall in that situation that you want to look out for. And so many people naturally move through them and they're able to overcome those pitfalls. And people that don't end up happily married, or if that's their goal, they don't make it because they hit one of those pitfalls and made a mistake. And so here's how you can correctly evaluate what's going on from a wisdom point of view, rather than falling into the pitfalls. So I point those out.
Yeah, it's really a wonderful book. And I also am just learning more and more about some of the things you're teaching in Beyond Mars Venus. And a lot of the hormonal things are making a lot more sense to me, going deeper with some of this too. So we recommend John's books. And John, I want to be respectful of your time because I know you have another interview today, but I do want to give you a chance to leave us the last word here.
Keep in mind that many singles are wishing to be in a relationship, and many people who are married are wishing to be single again. So our suffering is really something that we create inside ourselves. And as we gain more wisdom and knowledge, we begin to realize we can find the love that we deserve, and you will get it, particularly as you're reaching out today, I know you continue to reach out for new knowledge to recognize how you contribute to the problems in the past in your relationships. And each time you come back to love, you become clearer in your ability to attract the right person for you, to know who's the right person for you, and have the skills to keep them the right person for you, if that's possible. So it's a real pleasure to spend time with you and to do these interviews.
Oh, thank you so much, John. And thank you so much for your generosity and for being willing to field all of these questions. And you're so generous with your wisdom. And I really love what you've shared, because I know that your work is making such an impact in the world. And for this audience, we're really honored, and we want to express our gratitude and appreciation for your generosity. Really means a lot.
You're very, very welcome. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.